Staff anticipates the process associated with the application, and there will be public hearings involved at the state level to take approximately 4 to 6 months to complete. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director Plumby. And looking to my colleagues, I'll go ahead and go down the roll if there's any questions or comments. Councilmember Jimenez?
No questions.
Okay, Councilmember Tamayo, any questions or comments?
No questions, and just I discussed this item with staff, so no further questions.
Okay, Councilmember Torres?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The only question I have at this time is that as this item has been contemplated and developed, there was a question about the kind of obligations the city would have with the property. So I was just wondering if staff had any information on that at this time.
Can you repeat? Is it obligations or?
Obligations in terms of ADA access, in terms of like any upgrades to the property to bring it up to a certain standard, or
Yes.
who would be responsible for that going forward?
Yes, Mr. Councilmember, if I may, Mr. City Manager. We have actually collaborated with the state, and we have been reassured that none of the issues associated with access would be impacted as a result of this nomination.
None of the issues with access would be impacted, as in the city would not be on the hook for.
Correct. So like, for example, we would not, unless we were going to, develop the site, then we would be required to comply with maybe current standards. But as it stands today, the site is in essence a non-conforming site.
Great, thank you very much, Director Palumbi. Yeah, just wanted to clarify any kind of financial obligations to make sure that we're making the proper efforts to get that funded. But just to say that I fully support this item, and that is all, Madam Mayor.
Okay, and next we have Mayor Pro Tem Melendez. Any questions or comments?
No comments.
Okay, and no comments or questions on my end. So if I can please have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Jimenez. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Mayor Pro Tem Melendez. Mr. City Clerk, may you please do roll call?
Councilmember Jimenez,
Aye.
Councilmember Tamayo,
Aye.
Councilmember Torres,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Melendez,
Aye.
Mayor Peralta.
Aye. Next, we have consent calendar, and just as a reminder, we are pulling item 6. Mr. City Attorney, will you read the statement of approval on consent items and allow council to pull items for discussion?
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Mayor, members of the council. This relates to the consent calendar. All matters listed in the consent agenda are considered to be routine. Any item a member wishes to discuss, including all items, the public submitted speaker cards. Do we have any speaker cards for any other?
No speaker cards for any
So we
other
have
item.
no speaker cards on consent. Should be designated this time. All other items may be approved in a single motion. Such approval will also waive the reading of the ordinance. And as indicated, item 6 is being pulled. We would then need a designation for items number 7 through 18, with the exception of item 8, which was already approved. So if I may poll the council. Councilmember Jimenez.
No items.
Councilmember Tamayo.
No items.
Councilmember Torres.
No items.
Mayor Pro Tem Melendez. No items. And Mayor Peralta.
Yes, items 11 and 14.
11 and 14?
Yes.
And 14, okay. So it'd be appropriate to consider a motion to approve items 6, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
7, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, and item 18.
Motion.
Motion to that effect.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. So we have a motion by Councilmember Torres and a
I'll
second. Second by Mayor Pro Tem Melendez. Mr. City Clerk, may I please do roll call?
Councilmember Jimenez,
Aye.
Councilmember Tamayo,
Aye.
Councilmember Torres,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Melendez,
Aye.
Mayor Peralta.
I vote aye, and that passes. Moving forward with item number 6, we do have, give me a second here, our treasurer's report for the quarter ending December 31st, 2023. Mr. City Manager?
Yeah, Mr. Montaña will be giving a presentation.
Right there? Okay, let's see where, okay. Does it come up anywhere? Okay, this is the second quarter treasurer's report ending December 31st, 2023. The quarterly reports are required by state law. The City Council and Physical Accountability and Investment Committee receives monthly reports via City Manager's memo. Provides an overview of the liquid cash positions at the quarter end. Investments guided by the City Council approved investment policy, and received California Municipal Treasurers Association CTA Award for Excellence. Okay, this is cash by major account. You can see on the top where it has ending December 31st, 2022. That has a general account of $71,627,595. That's the amount of money that we had at that time in the general fund. And then the number under it, 302,825 in that account. And then we have under that one in 2022, Housing Successor Agency, $1,056,552, and then Trust and Agency Fund, $1,118,880 in that fund, and then the 401ks Trust account, $13,564. That gives us a total balance at that time, $89,119,417. At the end of the month, or the end of 2023, December, the general fund had $460,644. And the successor agency had $14,965,332. The Housing Successor Agency had $2,568,425. Trust and Agency had $1,159,055. And then, of course, the 401k trust funds had $13,564. There's no change there. This is where it gets interesting. If you take from the funds from 12/31/22, subtract the funds on hand, 2023, we have $28,779,049 difference. This is money that we have more, and some of that money came from the sale of a water agency, where we got around $60 million on that, and that made a good portion of that. The next account, this is the successor agency. There was a difference of $337,449. Then on the housing successor agency, there is a difference of $1,511,000, $1,511,872. That came from a sale of property we had in Pico Rivera. It was a bus depot. They sold it, and we obtained this fund, so they added on here. Trust Agency Fund, we have at 40,175, which gives us a total surplus of $29,993,603. We go to the next page, and this is a graph. And if you can see that, the top portion, the black line is the funds that the state has given us, and it goes by year. If you go straight down, it'll give you the month and the year on each item here. And basically, it's about $78 million come across. It did go up. And each line indicates a year in question from 2023, 2022, 2020, 2019, and 2018. If you follow those lines at each given month, it'll tell you the balance we had in that particular month. In all, the city has sufficient liquidity to meet demands for 6 months, and the city cash position remains strong and positive and improving. And that's my report at this time. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. City Treasurer. And is this a receive and file, Mr. City Manager? It is? Okay. So if there are any questions or comments by my colleagues, I'll go ahead and just look. Okay, Councilmember Torres, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matongo. For
Oh, he has questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, question, I'm sorry. I
Yes.
didn't-
Thank you very much, Mr. Matongo, for the presentation. I do just have one question. I believe it's for our life accounts. How often do we kind of reanalyze the interest rates that we're getting and move money if there's the opportunity? I know that at this level, I mean, we're talking about like points on a percentage, but still, when you're talking about big balances, there is that little bit of a difference there.
Yes, absolutely. Councilmember Torres, we review it on a quarterly basis, you know, and we take advantage of, it's easier to do on a quarterly basis than a monthly basis, just because there is, you know, enough fluctuation. And it's a combination of looking not only at interest rates, but also balance. And given our healthy cash balance, there is some impetus maybe to move some of that money to something that would work a little harder for the city, while at the same time giving us sufficient liquidity and safety. So I guess the analysis is kind of twofold: is what can we earn, but also where could we park it where we still have access to it just in case.
Thank you very much, Director. And Madam Mayor, that is all my questions.
Okay, and if I can receive a motion to receive and file? Or do we need to motion to receive and file? We do, okay. So if I can receive a motion.
I'll motion.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Torres, and can I receive a second?
I second.
Okay, second by Ms. Tamayo. Mr. City Clerk, will you please call roll?
Councilmember Jimenez,
Aye.
Councilmember Tamayo,
Aye.
Councilmember Torres,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Melendez,
Aye.
Mayor Peralta.
Okay, aye, and that passes 5-0. Moving forward, we have item number 11, award professional service agreement number 4174 for golf course management and maintenance services to Troon Golf. I went ahead and pulled this item, just asking for a presentation or staff briefing on this.
Yeah, presenting this item is David Sosnowski, our Parks and Rec Director.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council. Item 11 tonight, staff is looking for council to approve a professional services agreement, number 4174, with Troon Golf for a 5-year contract for the maintenance, management, and operation of the Montebello Golf Course. Essentially, all functions related to the golf course, minus the food and beverage, which is handled by a separate concessionaire. A little bit of background on this, Mayor. In July 31st, 2023, the city issued RFP number 24-1, basically, again, looking for the maintenance, management, operation contractor. RFP scope, just a little bit about that for the council and the public, requires the selected firm to provide all the personnel, labor, equipment, materials, tools, services, and skills to manage, maintain, and operate the course, which we all know is getting renovated at this time, about to be opened as a 9-hole here in spring. Just some items that come with their $1.9 million annual expense, and essentially it's a pass-through. So as you see in the staff report, there's a $96,000 annual management contract, which is billed monthly, $8,000 a month, plus some CPI increases after the first year. That's essentially what Troon gets paid for their management fee. All other fees are essentially, like I said, a pass-through. So all the aerifying, all the fertilizer, all the staff, they're gonna have to hire a golf pro, they're gonna have to have outreach services for promotion, all the folks that manage the pro shop, all the cart room staff, and like I said, all the different maintenance aspects. We put together a pretty robust, I feel, and aggressive maintenance schedule to honor the $15 million plus that's being spent to renovate that golf course and keep it in prime shape. So staff is very confident that Troon is the correct vendor for this based off of the RFP process, looking at their history, looking at their references, and again, looking at the fee as well. So that's a recommendation today to award Troon a 5-year contract beginning March 1st.
Thank you so much, Director Sosnowski. Appreciate the work behind this item, and very excited to have our golf course opening up in the incoming months. With that, I'll go ahead and a motion to approve this item. May I please get a second to approve item number 11?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Councilmember Jimenez. Mr. City Clerk or Deputy City Clerk, may you please call roll?
Of course. Councilmember Jimenez?
Aye.
Councilmember Tamayo?
Aye.
Councilmember Torres?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Melendez?
Aye.
Mayor Peralta?
And I vote aye. Number 11 passes 5-0. Moving forward, I did go ahead and pull item number 14, approve submission of a grant proposal application for the Listos, California Community Emergency Response Team Support Grant Program administered by the California Office of Emergency Services. If council can just receive a briefing on this, and I do have a question.
Yes, presenting this item is Fire Chief Pelas.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Member City Council. So this is an opportunity for us to apply for a grant that became available, and it's a great funding opportunity for our CERT program that we've already implemented. Mayor, I think in October, Council gave us approval to start the CERT program. We have currently enrolled 7 firefighters that are in the didactic part of the training. They will be finishing up all their courses by the end of the month. And then also in February, they will be doing the manipulative part. We'll have the trainers from LAFD come in and train our team. Again, we're moving forward with the CERT, and this is a way that we can not burden our general fund if we're fortunate enough to secure these funds. There's up to $500,000 available. I think we're in a very unique situation with our dam, all the infrastructure that we have. I think we have a great opportunity to secure these funds. Our grant team does an amazing work. We're assessing before we even submit, but I think we're in a position to really secure these funds if we're fortunate enough. And I think it's just, for me and for our team, it's a way that we don't hit our general fund because we're already moving forward. And I envision the CERT program divided into districts because in an emergency, I was part of the 1989 Whittier Narrows earthquake, and I can tell you, living through that experience, residents were on their own in Montebello. And it's still something that I see and I revisit. And to me, this CERT program, we had it at one time, and then due to lack of funding, we let it go. And I think it's something that every community should be looking at. And I think it's something that I'm very passionate about. The fact that we had 7 firefighters that immediately threw their names in the hat shows a lot, and it's going to be huge for our residents. We're going to be able to educate them, bring them along, and eventually divide it into districts and have, hopefully we never have to use it, but it's also an opportunity to prepare the community because the fire department is not going to be able to sustain any major incident. And we're going to have to, at that point, start triaging, and that's where these volunteers would come in. There's also been a lot of behind-the-scenes things being done to implement the CERT program. Our principal risk manager took a look at our liability, working with our finance director, and we were able to implement also the waivers and the liability side of it, because we also want to protect the city's interest also in moving forward. It's not just equipping them, because there's also a liability component. So I think we're ready, and at this point, I'm open to any other questions. I hope I satisfied your questions, Mayor.
Yes, thank you, Chief Belias, for that briefing. I believe you did answer it. It was a little bit hard of hearing. Apologies. When is the CERT program expected to be fully operational as far as classes that are being offered, or the academy beginning with classes offered to the community?
The deadline for our, they're taking all their courses online right now, and they should be finishing up all that in February. And then we're gonna work with LAFD early March, them coming in, and they have to shadow a few of our courses before our instructors become certified. So early spring, we should be ready to roll. But then that doesn't mean we're ready to start, because there's, we'll be coming back to council. There's equipment, there's trailers, there's tools that we're gonna need to support this. We'll have the staff ready to go, but then we're gonna have to also assess what we're gonna need, basics to start a CERT program. And these things can get very expensive really fast, which is why we're always looking at opportunities. And I think this grant would be an amazing thing if we could capture it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I do appreciate the city being proactive as far as looking for grants to offset the expenses of these very essential and crucial programs in our community. As we know, man-made disasters and man-made and natural disasters are not rare occurrences anymore in our communities, as we saw with the tornado that took place this past year. And being able to train our residents as well as our staff and stakeholders in our community on how to respond to disasters or emergencies is extremely valuable. And so just very, very excited to see this program fully operational and hopefully in coming spring, and wishing our city the best of luck in this grant application. Since I did pull the item, I will go ahead and motion to approve item number 14. May I please receive a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Councilmember Jimenez. Mr. City Clerk, may you please call vote?
Yes, Councilmember Jimenez,
Aye.
Councilmember Tamayo,
Aye.
Councilmember Torres,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Melendez,
Aye.
Mayor Peralta.
And I vote aye. And I believe that finishes our consent items. So moving forward, we do have AB 1234 travel reports. I do have a travel report, but I will go ahead and look to my colleagues if they have any. No? Okay. Last week, I did receive an opportunity to attend the U.S. Mayor's Conference 2024. This conference is both for elected and rotating mayors, and so I do encourage my colleagues in the incoming years to attend. It's extremely important for Montebello to be on that national stage, to be able to advocate for the needs of not only our community, but our region. We do have an opportunity to not only speak and be in the year of our federal representatives, but as well as extremely high role White House officials that actually do make the time to listen to the needs that we bring up during this conference. And so it was really an extraordinary opportunity to be able to be in the presence of mayors across the nation, all facing very similar but also very different issues, and being able to learn best practices as well as policies that they're implementing to combat issues that we are all facing, such as crime, homelessness. And so I did receive an opportunity to be a part of Mayor Bass's homelessness task force session, in which she and her administration really spoke to the issues that they are facing here in Los Angeles County, as well as the work that they are doing. and working with our smaller cities to ensure that we receive the funding to be able to address mental health, addiction, and ensuring we can provide housing for those that are disadvantaged within our communities. There were other sessions that involved digital connectivity. So how do our smaller cities work and receive funding to ensure that we provide connectivity, public connectivity to the internet for our seniors as well as our families that unfortunately cannot, do not have the financial means to be able to connect digitally online. And so we were able to speak with companies that not only work within the infrastructure sector of being able to actually implement the wires and optic fibers, but as well as being able to speak with larger companies like T-Mobile that are working with cities and providing actual funding and matching dollars with local cities in being able to implement these types of connectivity policies in local cities. And so beyond that, there were many type of sessions, and so I am very thankful for the opportunity to be able to learn, as well as being able to just network with local colleagues and those on the national end on how to, and being able to bring home these types of best practices. So that concludes my AB 1234 report, and moving forward, prior to adjourning, I would like to request a moment of silence for a local community member. Give me 1 second here. So before we conclude, I would like to request this moment of silence to honor the memory of Dora Baca Haro, who peacefully passed away on November 22nd, 2023 in Montebello, California at the age of 99. She was born on August 4th, 1924 in Needles, California to Demetrio Valdez Baca and Adela Pena. Her husband also was a former planning commissioner with the city of Montebello. Our thoughts are with her family and loved ones during this difficult time. If we may please have a moment of silence. With that, I will go ahead and adjourn today's meeting. If I can please receive a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and have a first by Mayor Pro Tem Melendez and a second by Councilmember Jimenez, and we are adjourned. Thank you so much.